that's why I'm leaning more towards Echo, because there's such a large margin of error for this composition from Yudu Red Giants. Unless they're playing a perfect game, well, I think Echo's going to take it.
We'll see, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 1 between Echo as well as the Yudu Red Giants. And like the casters and the panelists have mentioned before, this is going to be their last tournament live. So this best of 3, it's even more important than ever here. They want to continue their journey at SPS. And looking at this, you can already see that Zyda has prioritized that orange buff in regards to exactly this. The fact that they're able to rotate, get the Litho, and even pressure Sakai's on the Hayabusa, who severely needs that purple buff.
He really does. He really does. But I don't see that Echo is looking to actually contest or invade the jungle just yet, especially in these early few minutes of the game. Remember, a lot of it is going to be very reliant on playing together with this Minotaur. And if Minotaur finds a catch on maybe 2 or 3 people, the fight usually ends before he even completes the combo.
Which is why I think that EXP lane matchup is super important. But look at this, Pancake already going for a pick.
He already finds 2 here, but Skies, he's only going to be able to steal away 1/2 of the camp while outplayed him, as well as Yaoi, just making sure that they are hyper aware not to give away anything in this early game.
Yeah, we need to note the fact that Outplayed actually picked up the Purify, right? So they're really respecting the, I would say, just lockdown coming in from the Yudu Red Giants, especially for Pancake in particular. In terms of the emblems as well as talents, things look quite standard, but it looks like here that the Valentina is going to be prioritizing that Impure Rage a little bit more in order to do exactly this, to be able to rotate a lot quicker. They can spam that abilities a lot more as well because of that extra mana that the Impure Rage does give.
Yeah, and it's a little different because ZachQT opted to go for Weapon Master. He also opted to go for Rupture as well, just to make sure that he scales a little harder towards the later stages of the game when he gets that extra bit of stats, the more items that he builds. Now, if you see the rotations across the map, it seems very passive from both sides. They're not really interacting with each other, and they all know that, especially for Yudu Red Giants, they're going to need some gold before they make the hard decisions.
Definitely. There's definitely a mid-game power spike coming in from the Yudu Red Giants that they're waiting for. They don't want to be a little over-aggressive. They don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to get punished here. And you can see Echo now with the fact that they kind of banked on the early game with Sanji's choice of emblems as well as talents, and the fact that Yaoi already level 4 as well. So in case Yudu Red Giants wants to go for a big engage, they already have tools to dance around it. But all right, that's actually going to be still Zyda picking up that Lethal Wanderer.
Skies, he's trying with everything he has to try and get ahead in the EXP. And that's the important part, right? When you have that EXP lead over someone like the Joy, you can start contesting for these neutral objectives. It's very easy for Hayabusa to get in and out of fights. You don't really have to throw your body in there just yet.
Let's see what happens here. You can see that both teams, they're starting to collide. Nothing too fancy just yet. You're right. Like, they're playing it really passive. I mean, on the other side, Outplay definitely needs those items, but for the side of Super Red, the same can go. I can see that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Go Jess ends up finding it. I was expecting ZachQT to use his ult or something, but the solo kill is great. Now the return coming in from Zyda as he gets locked down. The Feathered Airstrike as well being committed. That was an interesting turn of events. Sanford was already in the lead in terms of EXP against Gorgeous, and yet he took a terrible trade.
Still XP over for EXP, right? So a really good trade at that moment, but for Yudu Red Giants, honestly, very interesting rotations there coming in from Sanford. But despite that, it's still earlier on in the game, and both of these teams can collapse on this next neutral objective. Now, the thing is, we gotta mention that Echo has a really, really good composition for team fights, so when things get clumped up, it should favor them, and it doesn't look like Yudu Red Giants want to go for a contest. That's going to be another free turtle for Echo in the first 4 minutes of the game.
I think Yudu Red Giants is going to basically give up a majority of these turtles in this game. Right now, look at them. Yudu Red Giants, they're starting to move down towards that bottom side to try and steal some camps away. Yaoi's going to get on top of Super Red, but they know for a fact that Outplayed is not nearby. Flicker as well committed just to make sure that Outplay is put really, really low. Yaoi keeps him topped up. Luckily, if not that burn, probably might have gotten him killed.
Yeah, that was so close, and that would have been a really good pick on it to carry just to stop her from snowballing. And it's crazy, right? Because I would have thought that this gold lane matchup would have favored on the top side here. That's what?
That's a tier 1.
That's a free turret for Echo.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. It looks like a lot of things are being missed here by the EXP side with so much focus down by bot, I suppose. Somehow, wait, hold on. The Oki Shadow Kill has been committed onto Sanji's side. Can he actually get back out? Yeah, Sanji didn't have to do too much there, but that means that any kind of initiation from the side of Yudu Red Giants, they're not going to go for it any longer.
No, they're waiting. They're waiting right now, even for Yudu Red Giants. And what I really wanted to talk about earlier on was that gold lane matchup. The fact that Super Red was given a really good lane against Outplayed, but even then, they're so equal in terms of gold. There's barely a difference here. All right. So Super Red is ahead by just a little bit, 400 gold.
400 gold? Okay, that's not too bad. So it does mean that the pressure applied by Yudu Red Giants has actually gotten some form of profit. But with that move down towards that bottom side, look at Zaida. He's level 10 compared to Skies, who's currently at level 9. It's about the movements across the map, the small little details here that Echo is really taking advantage of.
Which is hard. It's difficult, right? Because what do you want to bank on if you're Yudu Red Giants? In this case, you can't go for neutral objectives with that disparity in the EXP. But it looks like with the way that Yudu Red Giants are collapsing here, they might want to go for a contest.
Yep, they're going to make an attempt. They know Minotaur's down on the bottom side. His penalty zone is already being used. Sanford in danger, ends up dying to the final slash regardless. Electrifying Beast looking for anybody. Gojas is low. He's stunning it up. Flickers away. Yaoi jumps on top of him. Gojas tries to buy a little bit more time and pulls the rest of Echo towards the turtle to keep the rest of Yudu Red Giants alive. I don't know if Skies can get this. Yaoi's positioning for it, but no. Zaida is the one walking away with the turtle.
Yeah, still predictable, right? Like we mentioned before, Echo definitely has an advantage in terms of these neutral objectives because of that level lead. They go for a 1-for-1 trade for both of the EXP laners, but at the end of the day, it's still Echo being able to pick up the advantage. Yudu Red Giants, however, on the other side, they are going to be able to find a little bit of compensation by taking that turret down. So they're trying their best to be like, okay, so we haven't reached our power spikes just yet, but wait a minute.
They've already found two. The Minoan Fury catches Pancake as well as Gojas, who's trying to actually extend this fight. The final slash to keep them up together. Penalty zone as well from Sanford as he makes an attempt. They find one. Gojas goes down. The Oki Shadow kill was good, but they don't find anything else. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of Echo.
Yeah, that was a little difficult because we talked about this, right? If Yudu Red Giants want to be extremely aggressive and go for the initiation in these team fights, then there's always going to be that lingering presence of Yaoi to go for that counter setup. And you can see that starting to show. Pancake goes in, does his combo out, and then Yaoi just jumps in afterwards, and then what?
Yeah, the counter engage, as you mentioned, is very strong from Echo's side, but let's not forget the main targets from both Echo as well as Yudu Red Giants are the gold laners, right? And both of them have Purify.
So there's no catch.
I mean, they can try, but it gives them a window, right? I mean, unless Yudu Red Giants can somehow catch Outplay in the next 29 seconds or so, then I guess it's profit, but let's look at the items.
Okay, we can see here for both of the gold laners, like even that 400 gold lead was... It's completely gone. Only 100. You can see that the Claude already picking up the DHS as well as that Golden Staff. So he's nearing that power spike. Meanwhile, I think it's going to take a little longer for Outplayed to be online.
Yeah, let's look at the coverage here, right? Because Yudu Red Giants want to find some compensation on that top side. They're willing to sacrifice these tier 1s. Like, both of these teams have very similar ideas, but a fight breaks out in towards that mid lane. Sanji finds the kill on towards his Gojas' side, but Sky's able to not only clear the wave, but manages to save the tier 1.
But look how this all just collapses, right? Because they picked Gojas out right before that Lord take, and it feels like, oh, wait a minute, okay. Well, back to that point, is like Echo is planning it really well. They're calculating it really well. It may look passive, but everything is just down to the T. They take someone down, and now they're going to be able to collapse on the neutral objective with one man above Yudu Red Giants.
Yep, Gojas is going to come out from his death as Super Red is able to break the tier 1 in the meantime. Sanford actually gets caught on, but cancels out Pancake's ult with a jump in from it. Yaoi, good knock-up. very least, Pancake gets to save his cooldown, but at the very least, Echo, they're very wary of this. As Yudu Red Giant slowly but surely open up the map. Oh! Pancake, he finds one, he catches Alba Sanji this time round. The final slash is good, but even so, they don't find any kills. Instead, Pancake is the one that ends up falling. And Yaoi, he's walking up forward very confidently, knowing that Zaida could jump in at any time. The Oki Shadow kill has been committed as they clump up together as four. Skies might be in some trouble, gets back out in time.
Oh, that was such a close pick for Pancake. Unfortunately, even despite that Echo were kind of positioned a little bit far apart, there is still that counter engage that can occur coming in from Echo, even though Yaoi wasn't there. And looking at this, they're actually going to burst it down. Who's going to get the Lord?
Yeah, they're going to 50-50 yet. They're going in. Here comes Skies. He's put down to 10% as the final slash comes on through. Zyda's towards it. Skies gets to walk out. And Zach QT, he chunks them all out.
Oh,
but
super
doesn't
red.
go. He's dead. He dies to it, right? Yep. The execute. Just enough damage.
How on earth do Echo do this, man? Like, that was a close 50-50. Right, with Zaida. Okay, Zaida is in an EXP lead at that moment in time, but they were able to dish out that much damage to deny Sakai's from even looking for that 50-50 play. It's so brilliant. But looking at this, right, they still need to be wary of Super Red. He's #1 on the charts right now, so when they go in for these team fights, they need to be able to pick him off. But the problem is, we were talking about that Purify, right? The thing is, Echo has a lot of resources that they can utilize to trigger the Purify. Meanwhile, Yudu Red Giants, they only have one. They only have Pancake and perhaps even Gojes at times. But even then, it's not a sure take.
Yeah, it usually isn't going to be a sure take, right? And most people are going to neglect the fact that ZachQT actually has a stun, but most of the time it's more of a combo starter rather than a combo ender, so at least you can kind of like preemptively make moves, get your team to actually go for big cancels. You can actually play around it. Now, see the Yudu Red Giants looking for an opportunity but finds nothing. Echo does not bite.
Not yet, not yet. They're waiting. They don't want to overcommit into this. They don't have the vision so far to be able to figure out where all these players are. And this is exactly what Sanford is trying to do. Opening up the map, trying to figure out where Super Red is, Pancake, and even Gojes. But I'm pretty sure things are going to get a little bit more intricate for Yudu Red Giants if they keep clumping up as 5. And how poetic is it that in this match, Yaoi comes back as a big brother on the Minotaur to cover for his team. And there you go.
Yeah, as you can tell, Yaoi, he's showing a lot of experience here, opening up the right parts of the map, canceling the correct abilities at the right time. I think that's, the big difference here. At least he's giving some very clear directions for the side of Echo. With his experience, he's telling them, hey, let's take what we can. We don't want to overextend here. We know that Yudu Red Giants need to slip up before we can punish them, not the other way around.
Oh, but it looks like Carrie's ready for a fight. Look at all those items. Yudu Red Giants, they need to be careful. If I was Pancake, I'd be frustrated, right? Already with the corrosion slides, even the Wind of Nature, DHS, as well as that Golden Staff. She's ready.
We say that, but we look on back to Super Red. He also is stacking up his items, right? Pretty much the exact same build. The only thing he's missing out on is the pants because really, he's not afraid of dying. He just needs to dish out enough damage so that Skies or maybe even Gojes can finish them off.
The difference is now, if they go for a 1v1 team fight, he can't won out of the damage coming in from Carrie.
Well, that's true. That is true. The 1v1s might be hard, but I think they play very different roles, right? Yudu Red Giants, they want to go in, go out really quick. Echo, they want to drag it out as long as they possibly can so that they can get the actual benefits from their marksman. In the meantime, now, this is a very important neutral objective. Luminous Lord is available for Echo, and I don't think Yudu Red Giants want to live under this oppressive state any longer.
And now we're finally at the point where both of these junglers are on an equal EXP level. So the 50-50 is real. This can go either way, and all resources are up. You just need that trigger, that final decision-making coming in. And you can already see here, Sakai is getting ready with that Lord already at half health, Gideon.
It's getting tough. Skies and as well as Super Red already revealed themselves in that mid lane, and Zaida is positioning himself pretty far. They're going to try and reset this Lord, bring it back down to 75% as Yaoi jumps on in, terrifies, and Pancake now out of position here. They have no means of engage other than Gojes. Echo now retake control over the Lord once more and start posturing for it.
Oh, Pancake is there, but he's really
Whoa.
low. So is Yaoi. As the guys goes in.
He's trying to break the immortality. He's already using the Oki Shao kill to try to make that happen. He's already turned out outplayed to at least 40% of his HP. Now Gojas goes back in. Pancake misses the engage, but the final slash looks to be good, but the Minotaur is able to get Minon Fury off just in time. They cancel out a majority of the abilities. Yudu are left scrambling as the Lord has been secured by Echo once again.
That's a 2-4-0 trade. Make it even a 3 if you include that Lord marching down in the bottom lane, and things couldn't go even more wrong for Yudu Red Giants up until this point. Luckily, ZachQT is still up and available as their source of artillery. They should be able to clear, especially now that we see that Super Red is here as well. I don't think they're gonna lose most of their inhibitor turrets. One goes down though.
All right. That's the Luminous Lord side, so that's to be expected. Skies is trying to clear up this top side, but neither does he want to be put in a position where he dies off early on into the fight, right? Super Red, he's got plenty of damage, but it's very hard for him to get these free hits. Samford and as well as Yaoi have been gunning for him every single team fight.
Oh, Pancake. Pancake!
Ooh, very close. Good footsies. But oh, the Oki Shadow Kill finds the kill on towards Sanji's side. Skies is able to get on out of there. If we're talking about scaling, the scaling is good. Minoan Fury collapses on towards 2. Can they at least get the kill onto Yaoi? They secure it for Super Red.
That's definitely the perfect example of how Yudu Red Giants need to capitalize on their composition. Make it a little bit more messy for Echo. Look for these picks because they have the composition to do so. Pancake already charging here, actually missed the Sanford, but look at Yudu Red Giants turn it around here in the 17th minute of the game.
No way, are they gonna get an inhibitor turret off of this? I mean, they're trying to hold them hostage, making sure penalty zone it gets canceled out as well. Good final slash coming in from Gojas' side. His reaction time is extremely key in this matchup, but man, Yudu, they are scaling fast. They are scaling very, very hard.
And this is where things get interesting for the Yudu Red Giants, right? You mentioned earlier on Weapon Master on ZachQT as well, so even more damage is to be expected. In terms of the itemization, ZachQT, almost ready, right?
What's he
Clock
missing?
of Destiny, Truncheon, Divine Glaive. If he wants to be a little bit more greedy, he can also go for the Holy Crystal for additional magic damage.
Okay, so that's all he's missing. The Electrifying Beats goes on top of Gojas' side. They might actually get the pick here, but Skies, he's going to make the attempt. Yaoi cancels him out, but look at that damage. Oh, it procs! It procs the passive, taking Skies out. Oh, boy, that's not what you want to see for Yudu Red Giants.
Definitely not. 35 seconds until he's able to spawn back up, and look at the countdown timer on the Lord. If Echo can actually blitz this Lord, that's going to be free for them without any say coming in from the Yudu Red Giants.
I think they're absolutely going to do it. Man, Yaoi is so sharp. He has been punishing Skies time after time and still gunning for Super Red.
Big Brothers coming out to play. Sanford as well as Yaoi here really proving what it means to have that sense of experience. And here it is. The blitz happens. Yudu Red Giants, absolutely no contest. Another free Lord take for Echo. And that pushes them to how many gold is that? 8,000 gold?
Man, yeah, that is an 8,000 gold lead here. Soon it's not going to matter, but right after this Lord, so Echo, they need to put, either they close out this game or they look for as much punishment as possible onto Yudu Red Giants. And so far, Echo have been playing extremely clean, and Yudu Red Giants have been slightly on the back foot, but they've been trying to keep it toe-to-toe with Echo.
It's so tough. That Lord is going to be marching there in that bottom side. Well, I guess, again, they do still have wave clear, right?
Oh.
They do...
He finds outplayed! He finds outplayed, takes his purple, and now he's on the run. He has to commit to this. Skies, he's doing everything that he possibly can without a marksman and no jungler. Now it's up to the 4v4 by Yudu Red Giants. They have to clear the waves. The Feathered Airstrike will protect that top side, but however, they're taking their time with the Lord down bot. They know they can stall it for a good amount of time. Skies, did he just single-handedly turn this push from Echo?
Worth it. I was gonna scream that entire time, worth it. Sekai's traded for outplay the siege, the only siege that Echo has. Definitely worth it, you're right. What a play by him. And now Yudu Red Giants, they're coming back into the game. they're pushing it. They're forcing it to become 20 minutes. And when we took a look at the items here, you can even see that Sakai's is going full damage. He's like, you know what? No defense today. All I need is to trade outplay, and it's worth it, right? Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, BOD, Endless Battle. He's going full out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in outplays position, like, at that point, you can just, all you gotta say is like, wow, that's unlucky. It's not like I wanted to use my Winds of Nature or anything. I had somebody standing next to me. It's just RNG. You cannot tell where these annoying Shadow Kill procs are going to happen, even if you've got a buddy standing next to you.
And that's so cool. That's so interesting because I really need to see that replay of that particular play. But where was Yaoi in that?
Yeah, I mean, he was a little further off. It was Sanjin as well as Outplay just standing. Wait, actually, no, Sanford as well as Outplay just standing side by side at that point in time. They saw the engage actually happen. They got close together, but at a certain point, it's just, what can you really do about it but hope not to die, or maybe you have to use a resource in that particular situation.
And even with that, it feels like Echo, they're still going to play riskily. Is that a word?
Riskily?
It's okay. We'll make it a word for Eterna.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. I think that Yudu Red Giants need to roll the dice if they're going to get any leeway against Echo, because the macro movements across the map, they've been able to sift gold in so many different places, and Echo can't really do too much about it because, again, it's a push and pull, a give and take.
That and the fact that with Yudu Red Giants having the Claude on Super Red, they have a lot of leeway and mobility to play this map around, right? Just an instant free tower that— Oh no, we didn't see that.
He absolutely whiffed it, and now the penalty zone comes in from Sanford, but no, look, the Winter Truncheon coming in from Sanji. He ends up dying regardless. They still get a pick despite it all. And now Zaida, he's thinking about it. He's looking for the initial back line, but no, he is not able to find it. The Winter Truncheon protects that QT. The Minoan Fury almost good with a final slash. Even better, Super Red gets the free hit. Every single target. Winds of Nature's being traded, but the stats have been stolen. Art of Thievery fully stacked by Super Red.
No way. 4 members traded for 2. This is it. This is Super Red at his prime. And look at the damage coming out from ZachQT as well to facilitate this play.
They have to go to the end. Final slash, where is it? Go, Jess, you gotta stop outplaying as Super Red doesn't care. He's going for the end. Go, Jess tries to. Immortality spot, and game 1 won by YRG.
Against all odds, the underdogs coming all the way from the open qualifiers.